is switching from HIIT, so this is the high intensity interval training, to strength and restorative workouts. So let me just explain that. My story. For years, especially around the holidays, I was all on more, right? Trying to get in more workouts, doing it harder, feeling I was trying to tip the scale where, again, I was burning more than I was taking in more because it can get a little wonky and out of control, or we feel like it is. When we're eating different foods, blood sugar is harder to manage. So, and if it wasn't high intensity, again, this is just recently, so this is a new founding path for me just this year. So if it wasn't high intensity, if it didn't, leave me drenched and gasping, I didn't count it as a workout that was worth my time. So I had to tell myself I needed to push harder because December was when everything else in life got harder. But here's what finally hit me in early 2025. This kind of happened over the summertime. My body wasn't responding the way it used to. My numbers were a little harder to gauge. I think it really was the timing and again, the intensity and maybe even, the intensity that was causing low blood sugar. So I was having to do a lot of corrections with, juices and glucose tabs. And again, I'm thankful to have those around. But over time, that just, again, the up and down, the roller coasters really was causing me stress on my body. And that wasn't helping the overall goal, which was to try to stay fit and strong and, all the things that we're trying to do just to try to mitigate all of the downward things that can happen with type 1 diabetes, especially when hormones are not what they used to be. And my sleep was restless as well. I wasn't consistently sleeping, and I've always had pretty good sleep, especially now that I've been on hormone replacement. But it was a little, it had some holes in it for sure. And I wasn't recovering. And honestly, I was tired of being tired, or just trying so hard and realizing that I was taking a step back rather than, just trying to at least stay steady. Not necessarily always having to take a step forward or to, to exceed to any sort of extreme levels. But it really was, I think that's what we want to do. We want to be able to find a happy routine that we feel confident that we're able to do every day and to obviously experience the results, see the results, and to feel the results. And when we don't, it can get a little icky, right? There wasn't one dramatic moment that made me change. It was more like a quiet stack of clues building up until I couldn't ignore them. So again, sometime during the summer, I think it was June, July, is when this kind of just dawned on me that, so I tried something different. Instead of the HIIT, so these are the high intensity interval training workouts. So this is going hard, a lot of cardio, a lot of fast pace. I shifted to more strength sessions that were more heavy, or I should say not more, but okay, let me back up. I switched from doing a lot of strength training, so going heavy up to 5 days a week, to taking a step back and doing heavy training 2 to 3 days a week. And then I would have about one extra day that I was doing lighter weights, more reps, again, working more on muscle endurance than I was trying to power through with the heavy lifting. I realized that lifting heavy 2 to 3 days a week is all my body needs. And it's really all it needs at this age, at my age. And what's more important is the recovery time. Again, it comes back to the sleep because again, if I'm pushing too hard, putting too much stress on my body, expecting too much at 58 years old, there's going to be a backward slide on that. So again, I was looking at the big picture of how it was affecting not only blood sugar, my sleep, my energy, and my mind, because I wasn't feeling like the time I was spending was panning out. It was giving me back what I wanted. So I stopped treating easy as a failure, because it wasn't a failure. It was just taking a step back and just honoring where my body was. And the crazy part, my results got better.